Wow, this game looks really good. I might pick it up. How much is it? $70? No way. That's too rich for my blood.
Is it justifiable that I use my tax refund on this?
Video games are ever evolving, from the 8-bit days to 3D graphics to having polished games beyond anyone's wildest dreams, almost to the point that it looks eerily realistic. They're not stopping anytime soon. That said, because of this evolution, they're getting more and more expensive to develop. So, how do they justify these expenses? Let the lower class pay for it. The video game price tag. It's what's holding you back from getting the game besides the locked up glass door at every supermarket. Even though inflation has made everything more expensive nowadays, video games rarely raise their price tag. Hell, since the 1990s, new games have always been worth $60 at most. It's crazy that they never left that maximum price gap now that those older games are worth more than $100 in today's market. That ship has sailed because newer games are now being sold for $70. It's not a huge jump, but it does show that companies are willing to raise the price, and it might continue to rise. This leads to the ultimate question. How much should video games be worth? It's no secret that graphics in games are crisp and gorgeous as ever, and they're only getting better. Not only that, but the production and manpower to make these types of games are getting more and more expensive, especially since the video game market is at an all-time high. For AAA games, they have massive amounts of money put into them in hopes of making revenue, as long as they don't sell them unfinished and update them later. Having them cost $70 is justifiable, using engines to polish the graphics and workers to work together to create art. Creating art can take a lot of time, people, and resources. They deserve to be compensated for it. On the other hand, let me be clear, these companies and publishers have the right to sell them however they see fit. I'm just a regular guy who likes video games, so what I say won't matter in the grand scheme of things. However, I've been playing games for years. I can tell some are worth $70 and some are not. Mortal Kombat 1, released in 2023, should be $70 with its graphics and polish for the new generation of hardware, but the Switch version? Shit is $50 at best. The Switch is not up to date graphically for these new games to run as intended, so having it sold for the same price, you're better off getting the game on PlayStation or Xbox or PC. To think they can do this is scummy. As for games that are only for the Switch, like Tears of the Kingdom, it's more justifiable since that game was built for the system in mind. But to have it run the same engine as its predecessor prior, I have some questions. Thankfully, the amount of content it provides is more than enough to have it sold at that price, so I can give this a pass. It does show that Nintendo is willing to do so, and to me, I don't think they are worth that much. Maybe when they release a new, more powerful system, I'll be okay with it. There is also the argument that games should be played longer if they're going to be sold that much. While I agree to an extent, the length shouldn't be the main value for its price. I did just clown on Sonic Superstars, and while I think selling the game for $60 is a bit much, I can look past it since I'm a fan and that it'll be a joy to play even if it takes me less than 10 hours to beat the game. There's also the topic of deluxe editions, but it depends if you're willing to pay more for the extra benefits. We are in an era where games are getting more and more expensive. And that's okay. The market is growing rapidly, and companies should reflect on that. Thanks to technology evolving every day, so too how video games are made. Due to this, they need to sustain revenue to reflect their time and effort. They have a say on how much their games are sold for. Although if you're selling games for $80, you don't deserve wealth. I mean, come on! $80 for a party racing game? Sure, it looks polished, the characters are more expressive, and the option to free roam in this vast world is a feat I never thought would be in a Mario Kart game. But having it $80 when they have it in a console bundle, making it $50? I would rather get the console bundle than the game itself. And Nintendo knows this. They purposely did this so that the number of consoles sold will skyrocket. It's the first and only new game sold for that price, but it certainly won't be the last one. Don't even get me started on paying for upgrades. It was nice at first when the PS5 and Series X came out. They let you download to the newest edition at no extra cost. Even if you don't have the newest console, the option is still on the table whenever you do get one. Now for the Switch 2, they are charging you $10, $20, even full price for a goddamn upgrade. Like, I get it if it adds new content, but when it's just a graphic enhancement, no fucking thanks. I'm not that stupid to buy the whole game again when I already own one in the previous system. If you want it, go ahead. I'm not gonna stop you, but I don't think it's worth it. If you don't have money to spend, free-to-play games are a good alternative. They can offer as much content as a fully priced game. Just download it, and you're in. Sadly, there is an abundance of loot boxes, in-game currency, and gacha elements that can lead the consumer to pay more than what it's necessary. I'm a victim of this, paying V-Bucks in Fortnite to get the skin I want, paying currencies for a chance to get the character I want. I could have gone through it without paying a single penny. I made the decision to pull out my wallet, purchase the materials, and be disappointed when I lose my 50-50. I enjoy the content, but I wouldn't recommend them to my worst enemy. Companies want to transition over to these types of games because of how much money they make. They see dollar signs and they want a piece of those signs, which means we're getting seriously f***ed. Video game prices are rising. That's the reality. It sucks that the thing I love is getting more and more expensive. Thankfully, if you don't want to pay full price, you can just wait until the price drops or when it goes on sale. You don't need to get it as soon as it comes out. You just need to be patient. That's what I do. I can enjoy the games I have and wait until the right time to get a new one. Unless it's a game I really want, in which case,
I can't help myself.